Okay, so you start with 1d for sheer luck. I'm going to give you an extra one because it is a bold or daring thing. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability? I'll give you a dice for that as well. Alright, I'll give you, currently sitting on 4 dice.
I also have Weave the Web, which gives me +1 to engagement rolls.
5 dice, so there's 5 of you. You can each roll a dice.
Yeah, everybody roll a die.
Except somebody's got to roll for Eric.
I got Eric's.
Yeah, Bones is rolling too low for me.
I got a 4 and a 5. Man,
All
I
right.
can't hit
I'm
the
the
6s
5.
tonight. I'm doing okay, but
All right.
I got us covered,
Oh,
boys.
2
nice.
6s and a
2
3.
6s. Nice.
Excellent.
All right. Okay, so let us set the scene. The dead of night, as the rain pours down. Cricket, you get dressed up. You manage to finagle a gang insignia from the Crimson Serpents. And, you manage to disguise yourself as you kind of walk up to the front door. And the 2 toughs kind of initially step in your way and just kind of take a look at you, look you up and down, and step out your way, unlock the door, and let you through. Around the corner, everybody in heavy gear is waiting for the signal. What's that signal going to be, Eric?
So they're around the corner. Is there only the one door for the building? It's just the front one with the 2 guys?
Yeah.
Who else is in the room with me?
So as you walk in, what you see kind of like a vestibule. Very fancy, lots of red velvet, It is a brothel after all.
Right.
And then at the back of the room, there is a large sort of doorway with some very heavy sort of red velvet curtains covering it. So you get the impression that that is to the main sort of room. To the left and to the right, you see doors, which will probably be towards where, like, some of the toughs would probably lie and whatnot. There is a window nearby, but like I say, you critted your engagement roll, so technically this part of it has already been beaten. You've already done this, as it were.
Yeah.
I just want to know, in your eyes, what it looks like.
Yeah, you get to go full narrative, man.
Yeah, so when I go in, I would have been scanning to see, like, if that window is on the side that they're on.
They would be able to see the window from where they are.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. So
Light it on fire. You
well,
want.
that's actually what I'm about. I'm trying to think, though, because I'm going to light it on fire, but in my mind, I'm thinking, do I want the building to be here later? And there's no one else in this room with me.
Yes, we want to keep the building.
I
Okay,
will
so
say that the building is brick.
Good. So I proceed to the big curtain thingy in the back. I'm absolutely going to light that on fire. But what I want to do is I want to light that on fire. And then I would also like, you said there's a desk, right?
Yeah, there's a desk. There's like a reception desk, as it were.
Inside the drawers, I want to light stuff on fire. And then I'm going to knock on the window on the side that they're on. So they know to start moving. And then as they start
like
moving...
the giant plumes of smoke.
Do the doors go in and out? Do they, like, open outwards, or do they open in?
The doors open inwards.
Okay. So I'm going to open the door, and as I open the door with my right hand, since I shoot with my left, be shooting the guy that's right there by the right side. So if I'm looking out right side, closest to them. So I'm going to engage him, and I'd shoot him while they're moving up. So that way there's only one guard they got to deal with as they come in.
Okay. All right, so
what if that way you let me do?
No, again, you guys have already rolled this. This has already happened.
Yeah, the critical engagement roll, Eric, let us begin deeper into the engagement than normal. And so we get to just bypass the initial obstacle.
So you walk in and, you're not really questioned, but you see the opportunity and you light a fire on the desk and you throw something lit on fire towards towards the curtains at the back, which also kind of go up. You guys from outside, you're kind of peering round this corner as you see the building in front of you with the two heavies, and the window that is next to the door. You suddenly see it illuminate a sort of bright orange glow, and in it you see a figure up against the window, just knocking on the glass.
Remind
Before
me to-
Is
proceeding,
that the signal?
I do believe that was the
I
signal.
was gonna
Before-
say, is
That-
Darklight
the
also
thing-
inside with him?
Darklight went with him. I'm not gonna lie. All right, hey, if we got that,
oh,
Tommy, ring the
Darklight went
doorbell.
with him. Even better.
Yeah.
So
I was like,
Darklight, you are seeing this. You kind of.
I love the idea of him asking Cricket, "Is that the signal?" as he's lighting things on fire. Like, is that the signal? Is that what we're supposed to do?
And Cricket opens the door and goes, "Yup," and takes a shot to one of the heavies on the door, just in the head, just completely, just drops him immediately. And you outside 100% know that is the signal, and you barrel in, and the other heavy at the door is no problem whatsoever. All right, Travis.
I'm gonna activate my special ability called Savage, that when I unleash any physical violence, it's especially frightening, so anytime I try to command a frightened target, I get an additional die.
The only problem is, right now, as you kind of attack, until you're inside, they haven't had a chance to react, so
Yeah.
it's literally one guy on his own.
Then I'm gonna, I guess with the signal, since one guy's currently cratered, you said there was a doorway immediately after this doorway?
So when you go through the first guard, it's like a vestibule, and at the back there is the curtain, which is now on fire, which would lead to the sort of main area. To the left and to the right, there are doorways which go to you don't know where. But right now, what that engagement roll will allow you to do is get inside the vestibule, and that's where we're going to pick shit up.
Gotcha.
All right, so inside the vestibule, basically we're breaching and clearing.
So
Then,
you
yeah, I'm
breach.
just gonna,
You breach, and the noise that's happened, the gunshot, the knocking on the window, the flames, all of a sudden the two doors open up, and you see people kind of rushing in to attack you. They're not necessarily fully armed or armored for that matter, because they were not expecting this. But there are quite a few of them.
Tommy, wrap the presents.
yeah, I'm opening the candy cane. Sword's coming out, and I'm activating and take another stress to activate not to be trifled with, and I can now engage this gang on equal footing.
Okay, we'll get to what that looks like in just a second. We'll get to any sort of rolls in a second as well. James, you got your hand up.
Yeah. For my part, what I would like to do is to see if there is a ghost in the vicinity that I can summon amidst the throng of people charging at us.
Okay, so we will get to that in a minute. You're going to be attuning. I want to know what everybody kind of intends to do, and then we'll resolve everything. So, Ryan?
So I'm going to be in the center, just kind of directing the action, making sure we're clearing all the rooms. I do have two goals in mind. I want to make sure we're moving as fast as possible because we're on a hunt right now. We're looking for the big wigs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're hunting for the people in charge, and I want to make sure it's still a brothel. If there are innocent civilians, I want to make sure they're not on fire, or getting shot.
Also, Cricket,
But that's where I'm just kind of in the middle directing the action.
Okay, so that leaves us now with Cricket and Darklight. Who wants to go first?
Okay.
Darklight.
So what I'm going to be doing, obviously, as I've gone in with
Cricket.
who have I gone in with?
Cricket.
I've gone in with Cricket.
Cricket.
I've gone in
Yep.
with Cricket, and this has all kicked off, and the doors have opened, and he's seen his opportunity. His thing was to try and search this building because he got told by Deckard that he needs to find these people and hunt. So he's going to start his hunt.
Right.
So he's going to
okay.
use his ability to start hunting through these rooms to get the person they're after.
Okay, right. We'll get to that in a second. And Cricket, what are you doing?
So I'm gonna guess that nobody actually saw me do any of that because nobody was in the room. So I am gonna pretend to still be one of them and I am going to say that they need to get the intruders while I go deeper into the building and also try to find who we need to find.
All
We
right,
hired this guy on purpose.
I'm looking forward to your role. Okay, so let's go back. Look, Travis, you are basically, you kind of positioned yourself in a sort of central, acting sort of a ballast, as it were. As they
Yep.
come out these doors, you kind of get in a central position. You're probably moving from side to side in order to kind of keep them as much in a line as possible, and you are fending them off. So I need you to please give me a roll, and that is going to be what are you thinking?
It's definitely going to be skirmish.
All right, okay, skirmish. How many
With
dice
this-
have you got in that?
3.
3 off the bat. Let's go.
And I'm
Goodness.
also going to be, just thematically, since I'm a great big strong dude, I'm going to be wielding this sword in one hand while also kind of like flinging my cloak around with the other, because I wear that big red cloak.
Yeah.
That way, keep everybody off balance, helps me engage multiple people because they don't know exactly where these strikes are going to be coming from. So just
Okay, so-
full dervish.
Because of your ability to take them on equal footing, I'm going to say it is going to be a risky standard. All right.
3 dice. I did my stress. Come here. Don't flip over. I got a 1, a 3, and a 5.
1, a 3, and a 5. Okay, so what I will say is that you are managing to fight them off, but they are kind of overwhelming you slightly. Probably because you expected a few of them, maybe not this much. So your next roll you're going to do from a desperate position.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so Ryan's just popped off for a second. James, you wanted to attune to see if there's a ghost in the area, yeah?
Yeah, because the effect of summoning supernatural things and people without proper protections either freeze or flee.
Okay, so yeah, by all means, roll to attune. That's in any ability with it or just attuning?
Just a tuning. I got a 5.
Give me a hand here
Okay.
with some crowd control.
Okay, so with the 5, you begin to attune to the unnatural, and you sense that there are a lot in the area, maybe because of the whisper nature of Lanathar, but you are able to attune a couple of them to you, not necessarily all of them. All right. However, what I will say is there isn't an immediate effect because Lanathar's a whisper. They've seen this before. But
Okay.
you do have the ability to control these ghosts. All right. Moving on to let's go with Deckard. You said you were controlling, but so what are you going to focus more on? Do you want to be controlling, or do you want to be kind of getting people out, as it were?
Okay, so we knew going in that this place was going to be kind of like the hot spot. Everybody's kind of bailed on it because they're underground hiding. From what I've seen so far in these first kind of few hectic moments while we breach, is there a lot of civilian traffic in this place?
There will be some. I won't say necessarily a lot. It probably is more of a headquarters than it is a brothel, but it is still a brothel nonetheless, and probably sort of a high-priced one, as it were.
And Tommy's engaging the gang using his special ability.
Mhm.
Blizzard summoned some ghosts and's got some puppets in here to wreak some havoc. I think
Eric's
what I'm
telling
going...
him to attack me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not a terrible plan. I want to make fun of Eric really bad for that, but having them come after us is, I mean, that's kind of the point. We're clearing this place out. Have I seen... See, I got the other ones that are hunting for me. There's no way they could have indicated to me a correct path yet, right?
If you want someone else to go first, and let's see how they roll, and then that's absolutely fine. There's no initiative order, as it were. So
Alright,
if you wanted whoever was hunting to go first, then you'll have more of an idea.
Are there any actions that we need to take right now that are a pass-fail kind of thing? Is there a benefit to me leading like a group action in the current
Probably
scene?
not.
All right, then I am going to focus on making sure the non-hunters are in the correct position, and I'm going to focus on making sure if there's any actual civilian foot traffic that I get them out without them getting hit.
Okay, so what I will say then, give me a command.
No, I got a 2 and a 3. I'm not saving a whole lot of innocent people on this job, guys. Sorry.
Okay, so
They'll run.
you
It's
kind
fine.
of shout out as the curtain is starting to fall apart. You kind of shout out into the sort of main salon area of the room. But instead of kind of running out towards you and out the door, they begin to get ushered by staff of the brothel, potentially other Crimson Serpents, like towards the back. Okay?
Okay. Well, I tried.
All right, Cricket. You want to do your role? I'm looking forward to your role. I was leaving you till last,
So-
but
I actually no. I only want to do this because I'm hoping that Dark will go along with this. So since me and him are probably the furthest in the room, what I would like to do is grab Dark, like his arms, put him behind him, and just whisper at him real quick, like follow my lead. And then I want to push him through the building and be like, I got this one, you guys get the others, and just get in behind everybody.
Doesn't
Is
Dark
that something
work in
he's
like?
willing to go with? Because he's hunting, he wants to hunt, but he's got to get out of this room
Yeah,
to
but
do
he's
it.
like shadow teleporty stuff. He jumps around.
Okay, if he can do that, then I'll just take myself. I didn't hear the part about him being able to do
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
Okay,
okay,
that's good. Then
so
I'll just do
I'm
myself.
I'm gonna say yours is gonna be because you have literally just shot one of them. All right. However, no one else saw it, or no one who witnessed it is still alive. However, because there was such a short amount of time between one thing happening and the next, I'm gonna say that's gonna be desperate and limited. So you're
Okay,
gonna have
so
to
I have
roll
a-
fucking well.
I have a 3 in sway, and I get a +1
All
because
right.
of cloak and dagger. So that's
All right.
4d6.
You got this, man.
4d6. Come on.
All right, so Travis, can you roll this time? I'm hoping I can get some 6s, please.
You got 1, 2, 3, and 6.
Oh.
There is a god.
Okay, so what I will say is you kind of point your gun out the door, take a shot, and then immediately sort of hide it. When everything starts kicking off and you just go and point at Tommy.
Yeah.
You just point at Tommy and one of the guys runs up to you and stops and just looks at the dead body on the ground, looks at you with your hand behind your back, and then looks at Tommy, and it's not so much he believes you, it's that Tommy right now presents a bigger threat.
He's like the meme of the boom. How dare the rebel claws do this?
And he just looks at you and just shrugs and then runs to attack Tommy.
But yeah,
All
I'll
right.
push on to where I think like offices and stuff are.
So, let's say you had two doors, you had east and west, which would you go through?
If I could tell where Dark went, like where he's gonna go, I'd go the opposite of him. So I'd
Okay.
go
Let's see
whatever
what
his
Dark's
opposite
doing.
is.
east
Okay,
of
Dark.
East of... Let's have a look. So yeah, my job is to try and hunt. I'm going to see. I am going west.
Okay.
So I'm going to use my obviously my prowl ability to try and be as stealthy as possible to try and go
Mhm.
west. So using 3, I have a 2, 4, 6.
Okay.
I love
So
these.
somehow you managed to,
I mean, in the
between
chaos.
all the chaos, you just managed to sort of slink away. So much so, I'll say just for kind of flavor's sake, Deckard, you're controlling everything. You don't even notice him go.
That's okay. He's doing his job. I don't know this guy from Adam, so hopefully he's good at it.
So you, all of a sudden, he's there one moment, he's gone the next. Cricket, on the other hand, was like purposely watching for which direction he went in. So, Darklight goes west, Cricket goes east.
Good.
All right. Okay, let me just fill out some of the clock. Okay, so this combat is taking a bit of a toll on you there, Tommy. You know, these guys are tougher. They're definitely tougher than the ones you faced in the casino.
Not gonna be tough enough.
Fair.
I like the confidence.
So let's go with Darklight, who went to the west.
Yes.
Okay, so you go to the west and you enter, and it is what seems to be the sort of the back area of the reception. However, there is a door right at the back. Are you carrying on that way?
If there's no one in this room, I'll probably try and sneak forward and get through it.
Okay, give me a sneak to get into the next room and see what a prowl, as it were.
Oh, double sixes this time.
We'll get to you in a second. All right, Cricket, you go to the east, and it seems to be a rec room of some description. All right. There's a table. There's some cards on the table. There's some money on there. Obviously, these were the guards. They were kind of just having some downtime. But again, at the back of the room, there is another door there.
Grab the money on the way by.
I absolutely was going to grab the money. I'm poor. Just paid off all
Don't
my debt.
endanger this
lot,
mission for
not a-
$15 worth of singles.
Not a huge amount, but you know, it's free money.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I definitely pocket the money, and then I continue on, and I kind of listen for a minute before I just throw the door open, just to see if I can hear anything inside the room behind the door.
Okay. So you can give me a. No, what would it be? What are you using? What skill do you want to use for that?
I mean, I don't have any good ones for that one.
You can use hunt. Hunt would work.
I don't
Survey.
have
Survey.
So if I don't have anything in that, what is it? Just 1d6?
If you don't have any dots whatsoever, 2d6 and take the lowest.
Okay.
You can add stress to get another dice if you want.
Or, one thing we haven't done this game at all, take the devil's bargain. It
There's a
always
devil-
goes well.
Case in point, just about the devil's bargain.
Didn't
Devil's
Jingle
bargain.
Bella take one?
Jingle Bella took one, but case in point about the devil's bargain is they can be offered by player to player as well.
So if I
They
can
don't-
take the devil's bargain to hear behind this door.
Yeah, you can. I will say the. Well, I know. I already know what's going to happen. I know
Okay,
what the devil's bargain. So what I'm
Okay.
going to say is that if you want to take the devil's bargain, you are going to take harm, regardless of the
Somebody-
outcome.
I mean, I'll deal with it. Okay.
All right. So you get 3d6. No, sorry. No. Sorry. 1d6 because you had nothing and you've gone on to.
Okay, so Travis, can you roll 1d6 for me? Sorry. You rolled the best. So you probably would want the worst.
Where you get a
He's
2.
holding it
That's
up.
a 2.
Okay, so as you go and lean against this door to kind of figure out if anything's on the other side, you just hear a bang. And you feel sort of your midsection just feels warm initially as you look down, and a hole about that big has been blown through the door. Okay,
Sure.
so if you want, you can roll to resist. All right, but you are going to potentially take stress. So what you would need to do is however many dots and prowess you've got.
Okay.
Or
Question.
you can take it as armor.
Yeah,
I don't-
DM, I meant to ask, if we expended our armor in the scene earlier, but then did the gather information scene, is our armor reset?
I'll
Do we have
say
that
your
available?
armor's reset.
Excellent.
I'll
Yeah, 'cause
take
we
it in
did,
the armor
we
then.
did equip our heavy loadouts
Hmm.
before we came in.
Yeah, I'll take it in the armor then.
Okay, so you just boom. What armor are you wearing?
Because
Yeah,
I
just-
always just wear whatever the lightest is.
Okay, so yeah, your armor is now gone. What I will say, because it was a shotgun through a door, that is going to probably put you in a desperate position for your next roll, okay?
Oh no, I'm going to talk my way out of this.
Yeah, that's how this works. I'm glad we chose direct assault on this one.
Okay, so back to the foyer, back to where the action's happening. Let's go with Blizzard. Blizzard, you have managed to conjure up a phantasm, or a couple of phantasms. What are you wanting to do with them?
So I am going to use my ghost voice since I can talk to them and have increased effect, and try to sway them to start possessing the hot snakes or whatever they're called.
Hot snakes.
The puce pigeons.
All right,
Snakes.
the hot snakes.
Magenta
Okay,
cobras.
okay, you can give me an attune roll. What's that? Sorry.
1-6.
Okay, so with that, you see a couple of these Crimson Serpents all of a sudden just kind of go rigid for a second, and then they turn, they look at you, and then they turn towards what they think are their comrades and start attacking them. I'll give you another.
Blizzard, you are one spooky motherfucker.
All right, okay. So with that, that leaves us with we'll get to what Darklight is doing in just a second. But we've still got Tommy and Deckard.
Deckard, do you want to go first?
How are we looking about in control of the skirmish in the foyer?
It's looking controlled. You get the impression that Tommy's holding his own. It's not as straightforward as it has been in previous iterations of when this has happened, but you're pretty confident that Tommy will probably be able to pull it back.
And then I just heard a shotgun blast from the west side. No, the east
side.
East side.
Not the west side. There we go.
All
We've
right.
all done it now.
Yeah.
We have shown our age, ladies and gentlemen.
So
Yeah, a little bit.
gangsta with my diamond earrings.
All right, if Tommy's got the foyer, especially with Blizzard's help. Blizzard, do you have to remain in proximity to your controlled ghosts?
They're just doing stuff because they like me.
Okay, Dark is critically sneaking. He's managed to critically through. We're going to resolve that in a second. Blizzard just took possession of a couple of the guards who have now turned on the others, which is going to ease up Tommy. So why don't we just go to see what Tommy is doing? Do you want to give me that another skirmish there, Tommy?
Actually, what I'm going to do is try and break their will to fight.
Ooh, okay.
So, with my Savage special ability, whenever you unleash physical violence, it's especially frightening. So when you take a command action, you get an additional die.
Okay.
And on top of that, I'm going to stress to give myself one more.
Hmm.
And then I believe Deckard had the ability to assist me in being big and frightening.
Indeed. So I'm going to, I can do this in conjunction with another player's action. I activate my Foresight ability, and I get 2 uses of the assist teammate action that will that do not cost me stress. But I have to tell you how I prepared for this. So, knowing his fighting style, I will say I have previously installed a series of voice modulating loudspeakers in the collar of his heavy armor and a small break glass smoke creator, so that when he gets loud and anxious, he gets louder and smoky.
I am fucking Batman. Alright,
You
come
failed
on.
this city.
All right,
Legally distinct Batman.
yeah. The
That
non-infringement. Yeah.
Flying Ratman.
All right, that puts me at 5 dice for this.
Alright.
I got 2 5s, a 6, a 4, and a 1.
Alright, okay, so that is a success. Alright, I'll give you more than that. So you now, the tide now turns. Whereas before you were starting to kind of get overwhelmed with Blizzard getting them to kind of turn on each other and your sort of intimidation tactics, you do get the impression that they are kind of stepping back and you are now taking the fight to them. All right.
I'm going to shout that unless they want to be buried in a closed casket, now's the time to flee.
All right. Okay, well, we'll get to that in just a second.
Captain America styles. Before we get started, does anybody want to get off?
So, Ryan, that was your action for this round of events, was it? Assist?
I can actually do that on another player's turn.
All right. Okay. So you do it. What do you want to do?
With the shotgun blast, I'm going to leave Tommy to handle the crowd now that he's been thoroughly assisted, and I'm just going to go to the east side and try to keep Cricket alive. Basically, with the gunshot blast, I'm going to hit the corner and kind of turn around and see if there's any violence that needs to happen.
Okay, so you turn around and what you see is the door at the end with a massive hole in it. You can kind of see beyond. It looks like to be another relatively well-lit room, so it's not part of the sort of the bordello area. You see Cricket that has just kind of been hit by this thing and knocked back. Cricket.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start yelling into the room, like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "They're coming. Let me in. I'm here to get like the bigger guns so we can deal with this crazed guy at the door." And yeah, I'm just like yelling in, and I'm trying to
Okay,
like
so
nonchalantly wave like Decker
consort.
off.
Do you think consort? I think consort.
Well,
Yeah.
was that or sway?
Or sway. Yeah. If which would you rather?
Actually,
I
Yeah.
sway.
given the short time frame, I could see that.
All right, sway, and I would say, yeah, I'd go with risky standard.
And I'd get another +1 for cloak and dagger because I'm trying to, in regards to confuse or deflect suspicion.
Okay.
So I get
I
4 dice.
love the
Roll those.
audacity of this guy. He's got a shotgun slug in his gut, and he's like, "Stop shooting me! I'm on your team."
Yeah, I need a bigger
Alright.
gun. I'm here to get guns.
All right, roll it then. Let's see what happens.
All right, Travis, please. You got all the big rolls.
So the person that's been
how many
rolling
dice?
6s.
4.
4 dice.
Yes, sir.
Person who's been rolling 6s. Wise choice.
2 5s, 2 4s.
It's
Okay, so I will say that they kind of you don't get a response, but they do kind of stop firing for a second. All right. So you get the impression that they've believed you, and after a bit you just get a voice that says, "Just get out the fucking way, then."
Just Cricket
So-
be like, fucking unprofessional.
Yeah. So I will. Can I like see who's in there through the hole that's really big?
I'll say that you took this shot, and although it hit the armor, it probably buckled you a tiny bit. And you do see
Yeah.
you see a couple of guys in there. One of them still got the shotgun leveled at the door, and it's like, "Get the fuck out of the way, you absolute toaster!"
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll move out of the way and come up with a plan.
All right, so you move out the way. How visible would Deckard be then? Are you
So if he's-
trying to hide and look, or
Yeah, my
So if
plan was just to maintain more cover than it was like visibility concern.
Mm.
But it's definitely like I wanted to get around the corner because I knew there was a shotgun in there, right?
yeah? Okay. So Cricket, what were you saying?
You're muted.
Hello.
Little technical difficulty here.
His recording has stopped
there he
due
goes.
to an incoming call.
All
Run,
right.
buddy.
He'll be back.
It's officially canon in my head that Cricket was sitting there getting shot and his phone started to ring. So you had a bad day.
All right, so now we go back to Darklight. You managed to open this door, and I will say that there are about 2 people in there, but they are currently focused on like a security system. So they're looking at the foyer through the security system. They have not seen you
Awesome.
at all.
Okay. Cool.
So what are you doing then?
I look quickly to see if there's a light switch.
Yes, there's a light switch.
I'm going to turn it off,
Okay.
and I'm
You
going to...
can group. I'm not going to get you to roll to turn off a fucking light switch.
Yeah.
All right, you can group all these things together. Just
So,
tell me what the desired outcome is going to
all
be.
right. So what's going to happen is these guys are focused on the screens. The room's going to go dark, and dark light's going to become battle mode dark.
Okay.
And what that looks like, obviously, if these guys don't look like they're big guys, it's a room with TV screens, he's going to take them out. So
All right.
all of a sudden, the stitches around his mouth start to uncoil, and his mouth grows twice as wide as it was. And from both his arms, these needles start to come out of his wrists, as in like sewing needles, and that's his unusual weapon. He has these needles implanted in his wrists that he will then charge to attack both of these people with.
Okay, so I will say with the light off and you being in your element, I'm going to go ahead and say that... Where the heck did I put it? Yeah, this is going to be controlled.
Cool.
All right, controlled, and you just wanted to kill them both, yeah? Okay, so that'll be controlled standard then.
Sweet. I'm not going to push myself on this. I'm just going to do a standard.
Mm. All right. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm getting mix. I'm getting a 2 and a 5.
Okay, so with a 5, I will say that you do manage to kind of run up to the first one and you kind of wedge one of these needles in his throat and like really quietly as you used to. He sort of, however, that is enough for the other guy to kind of turn on you. You do manage to wedge another needle in his throat, but not without just taking a hit. Okay? So you are going to take a harm unless you want to resist.
I can happily attempt to resist.
Okay, roll d6. Or roll however many d6 is for prowess you may have.
Yeah. Okay, 2 5s and a 3. So a 5
Okay, so you're going to
minus the
take 1 point of stress. Okay, but you do manage to drop him. All right, so let's just say that Cricket has stepped out the way, but Deckard, you are in this hall. You've heard voices on the other side of that door. You've got your gun drawn.
What I would like to do, if I can, from my perception, do I have a clear line of sight through that door? Like, can I see the shotgun hole?
You can see the shotgun hole. You can probably see someone beyond it, but you only kind of see like a mid-section of a person holding a shotgun.
Okay. If I can, I'll get his back. Cricket, you were waving me off a minute ago?
Yeah, so I was just like trying to wave you off without the people in the door seeing you. And then as I walked away, I was making sure like I walked to like cover the hole for a minute. So like you could move and they would not see you as I'm walking away from the door.
Okay. If that's the instructions that I got from him, I'm going to leave him to it. I'm going to turn back to the main room. Those were the only two exits, right? It was east and west?
East and west, and then behind where you were, there was the curtain, which now at this point is probably all fallen apart. And through it, you see the sort of the main salon of this bordello.
All right. I'm going to the salon. I'm just going to have my weapon out. I'm going to progress into the salon.
Okay, so you progress into the salon, and I would like you to. I think you're gonna have to roll something. What do you fancy? Are you shooting anything that moves? Are you wanting to kind of take cover?
No, I'm definitely. I'm still with the primary objective. Like we're hunting them out. If I can I antagonize? Can I like try to call out the leaders?
Okay, yeah, I'll take a command.
All right. I think I'm gonna push. Pushing's what? 2 stress?
Yeah, pushing's 2 stress.
I'm not doing bad on the stress levels right now. I'm gonna go ahead and push.
Mm-hmm. So
Give
this is obviously going to be risky. Risky standard.
All right. I got A6. 136. So I got a success.
Okay, so you run into the room and you what are you shouting?
I'm gonna shout out that the Ink Rattler's time is done, and it's time to pay up.
All right. So, as you say that, at the back of the room of this main sort of hall, as it were, you see a gentleman sort of in this sort of crimson long robe, very sort of thin, very gaunt looking, with long spindly fingers. Looks out and kind of looks at you and begins to conjure up as you see this sort of greenish energy surround his hands, and as he does, you begin to see these faint apparitions around him as he flings it at you, and you are going to take harm, but it is going to be mental. So your armor won't help, but you can roll to resist should you choose.
All right. If I resist, since it's mental, does that mean I use resolve?
You'll be using your mental ability, which is resolve.
All right, I'm gonna roll resolve then. I'm actually decent at resolve. I'm all right with that.
Okay.
I got a 5, a 2, 3, 5. So it's 6 minus still.
6 minus. So you're taking a point of stress.
Taking a point of stress. You got it, boss.
All right, let's go back to the room where Cricket is then. Cricket, you've been told to get out of the way.
So now I know that Decker's not in the way. I'm going to shoot a shot at the doorway,
Okay.
and then I'm going to start screaming out, "They're coming! Get out here with the shotgun!" And I'll see how they react.
So when you say shoot a shot at the doorway, are you shooting a shot behind you from where you came?
Right from where I came, yeah. So I'm going to shoot at the door
So-
frame
All right. Okay. So with
and
that,
scream, and like, "Motherfuckers, they're coming! Somebody get out here with the shotgun and help put down some fire."
okay. What do you want to roll for that? Sway?
Yeah, it would be sway. Obviously,
Okay.
the cloak and dagger doesn't work with it, so it'd just be 3d6.
Yeah,
'Cause
give me
they can't
3d6.
see
Well,
me,
I will
so-
say because you've taken the shot, I will say that that's going to increase your effect. It's risky, but you might have a great effect if you succeed.
Mr. Travis, please.
I'm gonna get you to. I'm gonna get someone else.
Yeah.
If Justin were here, I'd get Justin to roll all your fucking rolls.
6, a 1, and a 2.
Fuck.
There you
I
go.
keep forgetting that he doesn't have dice, so I'm just like,
There we go.
roll it
Well,
up.
I was going to
You got
use
this,
my
Eric.
phone. I was
But
going
now
to use
you
my
need
phone,
your
but
phone.
I'm honest. By the way, my
Damn.
dad is outrageous.
All right, so yeah, you with that, you take the shot and just kind of go, get the fuck out of here, they're coming, and all of a sudden the door behind you opens as these two guys run, and they kind of position themselves in front of you, clearly protecting their ally. We go back to the main foyer where we have Blizzard and Tommy. Tommy, you're getting the upper hand. Blizzard, you are now controlling two of these toughs as Deckard has walked past you and gone into the back room. However, I will say that you have seen Lanathar performing his abilities too.
Don't let him out magic, you dog.
You're embarrassing me in front of the wizards.
So I'll leave the two possessed to pretty much do as they see fit and head back to the room where Deckard is confronting Lanathar.
All right, and what do you want to do?
Because it's pretty vague, I'm unsure exactly how the electroplasmum works, but I have a sweet vial of it, so I want to see if I can throw it at him, and if it will perhaps attract ghosts to try and possess him.
Okay, then I will take a finesse roll from you.
Can I activate my second use of foresight to assist and like shoot the vial when it gets next to him so it splatters?
Yeah, okay, you can get an extra die for that.
Okay. I'll also take a devil's bargain.
Interesting.
I will say, the devil's bargain is this. If you accept, you are going to take a harm which you cannot resist.
All right. Works for me.
All right. Okay. So that is now 4 die.
It's like baiting piranhas. He throws the vial and they just rush past him and flings his ass into the room.
Yeah, so I think that's what's going to happen as the rush happens.
5.
5, 5, 3, 1. Okay, so you do succeed. So you do succeed as this thing goes and hits, and you see Lanathar immediately sort of begin to try and fight off this wave of spectral energy that's come his way. However, as it happens, part of that energy rushes through you, and you all of a sudden just feel this piercing injury in your mind. So you are going to take 1 harm for that, and I think that's gonna it's gonna hamper you. All right, but Lanathar is fighting off these forces, so I will say that the next actions taken against him are going to have a better effect. So with that, we go back to Tommy. Tommy's still in the room.
Doing Tommy things.
How many of them succumb to their fear and flee from me?
I'll say that there are 2 left at this point, not including the 2 that are possessed.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and, again, continue to do my little dervish thing with the sword and skirmish it up to see if I can finish off the last of these guys in the
Okay. All right,
foyer
so-
with their main force.
Yeah, okay, so give me a roll.
I got a 1, a 4, and a 6. Oops. That was a 4.
You got 1 dice to just roll 6.
I always pick the one. Anything that's sitting on a 1 is what I roll.
All right. Okay. So with this last sort of display, the two that are kind of fighting their way back out the door now. You without quarter, you just cut them down as they drop. So now going back to Darklight. I was going to call you Nightlight for a second. Nightlight. So, Darklight, you are currently in this security room, but
Yeah.
there is no exit from here. But you are seeing on the screen that presumably Lanathar is now taking on both Deckard and Blizzard.
From the security room, then,
Hmm.
is there anything I can do? Like, does this control panel do anything that I could set up their position and improve what they're doing?
I would say you could potentially, like, through a tannoy or something like that, or even like comm devices. We have established that comm devices are a thing in this world. You could potentially just kind of give them insight about how to take cover.
Okay.
Me and you are in the opposite rooms for where we need to be.
I mean, I'm happy to do that. I mean, my idea was if I was in the security room, but obviously it depends how advanced it was, whether this had like the power systems or anything in it, and I would literally trip the power for the entire house, because then it would make it my element.
Yeah, they wouldn't be in the security rooms.
No, that's what I'm thinking. So yeah, I'm happy to set everyone up, and then I will join the fight.
Okay, so I'll give you, if you can give me the command, sway, something. What do you think would work the best?
I have nothing in resolve, so let's see.
Okay, so I will say you can take stress if you want to give yourself an extra to go from the no die option to the one die option.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
50
happy
chance.
with that. Yeah.
I can give you a devil's bargain.
What's your offer?
If you take it, Lanathar knows your position, and his shit can go through walls.
Am I quicker than his shit though? I'll take it. All
right. Okay. So give me 2d6.
2D, and I'm going to set up teammate, and that is 3 and a 5.
Okay. So with that, what I will say is, I want you to pick one of them.
One of them.
I want you to pick either Deckard or Blizzard. Which one is going to get the bonus?
Considering the standard and what was happened, I would probably try and help Deckard in this situation.
Okay, so Deckard, that means any attack against you from Lanathar, you are going to be in one position better.
Cool. I like that.
Blizzard, unfortunately, that has not extended to you.
That's fine.
All right. Okay, so I think Eric is still jumping in and out. So let's go back to Deckard and Blizzard.
All right. My plan is to try to coordinate a group action, but I need the group here to do it. So can I delay until the group gets here?
You can, and I'll say, so you like shouting down on comms to get in here, sort of thing.
Yeah, I'll throw out commands.
On me.
Yeah, Avengers assemble, bitches. I'll do my best to like throw down some suppressing fire. Not trying to do any damage, just trying to keep him on his back foot.
Okay, so I'll say that Lanathar will try conjure up another attack, but because he's been sort of battered by these sort of supernatural forces, for Deckard, you don't have to worry about a thing. All right.
Excellent.
However, for Blizzard, if you wanted to do something to kind of not necessarily mitigate, but you see him doing this attack, did you want to try and take cover with something or use finesse or?
I actually want to throw a fucking lightning bolt at him.
Okay, so we're going power against power.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I will say is going to be a risky. It'll be a risky great for you because of the position that he's in. He's struggling. So give me a 2.
A 5.
Okay, so with a 5 of them, because it was great, give you 2 of them. Okay, so you do hit. However, what happens is when you hit, the electric energy sort of jolts off, and that supernatural element that was hampering him vanishes.
This is why you get the big butts, Blizzard. I like it.
Okay, so again, we'll just have to say that Cricket is doing the Cricket thing, whereas go to Tommy and Darklight. Are you guys making your way back to the main sort of room?
Yeah, I'm gonna once I've dispatched this. Now that I've dispatched this crowd, I'm gonna again fall into my nature and just charge into the room.
All right, so you charge into the room. How about you, Darklight?
Yeah, so what will happen is obviously a different form of dark light starts to run through the brothel to get to where they are. So in one turn, obviously getting behind Tommy. So Tommy comes in, I'm guessing, like greatsword, and then behind you just see this like man made of flesh and with spikes coming out of his hands and his mouth now wide open, screaming. And I think it's a bit of a weird scene.
Yeah. I'm going to fall deeper into my cover and yell at something like, Christ almighty, Scarecrow!
Okay, so Deckard, it's time for your group action. What do you want to do?
Alright, guys,
What are you
lead a
thinking?
group action. Avengers assemble, bitches. Alright, so I'm going to be using command, obviously. Let's go skirmish. How does everybody feel about skirmish?
I'm good with skirmish.
Sweet.
Buzz like
Blizzard, not
fighting
so
people's
much.
for chumps.
Yeah, I'm going to lead a group skirmish action. Do your best, Blizzard.
All right, okay, so let's talk dice. Blizzard, how many dice are we talking?
I'm gonna go ahead and roll 2 and take the lowest.
Ooh, did you wanna push yourself so you're just rolling 1 die?
Nope, that's a negative.
All right, okay, so 2 and taking the lowest. Okay, everybody else for skirmish, you're rolling as is. Is anybody taking any stress to roll
I'm going
more?
to take some stress, see if I can activate my special ability at the same time.
Okay.
And as a reminder, for anybody whose final result is a 1, 2, or 3, it'll stress me out.
All right, okay. And how about you, Tommy Taps?
I'm just gonna roll standard. I got 3 die, so.
All right, okay, so let's have a look. Let's hear them. What we got for Deckard? 1 fail. You got a 5. You
I got 2
succeeded.
5s.
Succeeded.
I was 6.
All right, so we
Got
take
5
the
out of
best
6.
result, but I take 1
You
stress
take 1
from...
stress because
my
you're
meat.
the only person who...
It's
You
because
failed.
the Scarecrow's flesh golem comes
I'm
ripping in there
sorry.
with needles
I'm
for fingers.
sorry.
Did my best.
Start leading this way. Oh my god, no!
We could have just gone
Dare.
home.
Being like, why is it always like this?
Okay, so what was the best? Was it a critical success or
No, it was just
No,
a standard
just
success.
just
Yeah.
a standard success? Okay, alright. Okay, so with that, Lanathar is going to launch an assault on everybody. So everybody is subject to harm for this. And it is
Alright.
mental, so armor will not
Work.
help. So
Yes,
if
but I'm
you
really
guys
good
want
at
to
the
resist,
resolve.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
going to roll resolve. Is there any bonuses for my improved position?
for your improved position, I will say that you will. I'll give you an extra dice.
Excellent.
I'll give you an extra dice for that.
Is it prowess or resolve or what is it?
Resolve, because it is
Just
mental.
resolve.
And even with the extra dice, I rolled 3 3s and a 4. I still took 2 stress off of that.
I can still roll 2, take lowest, can't I? On resistance,
What's
so
that?
that does work. I've got nothing
Yeah,
resolved, so yeah.
Oh, so 2 take lowest.
Cool. Yep.
I got a 5. I got a 5 and a 1.
In your case, it would be 2 take the highest, because that's how because it's reversed for a resistance roll.
2 take the highest, yeah?
Yes, because you are looking for a high roll.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah.
Yeah, so a 4
No.
and a 5.
Oh
I'll
shit!
take the
No,
5.
sorry. No, take the 4. So you're taking 2 stress.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, that
I was like-
confused me.
Yeah,
Okay, what
I
did
got
you get,
caught up for a
Travis?
second, too.
I got a 5 and a 4, so I'm taking 1 stress. Because I have 2
Okay.
dots in resolve.
All right, so take your stress. Before this happened, you guys heard 2 shots that came from outside where Cricket was, and Cricket has also joined you. He's sending me messages on Discord.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Probably some
Allegedly.
shapeshifter.
Is that
Okay,
Take
second?
him out
so-
just to be safe.
Okay, so what are you guys doing?
I think it's just fight to the death on this guy, right?
Seems to
Is-
be.
Or
Where is
attack.
he at in this room in relation to my position? Is he
He's on the opposite side of the room. He's,
so same floor, just on the opposite side of the
same
room?
floor on the opposite side of the room.
Ooh, bad choice, buddy. I'm gonna beeline and crack this dude as hard as I can with the greatsword
Okay, yeah, you can give me a skirmish.
because I have a particular disdain for firearms.
Okay.
Ooh, not great. 1, a 2, and a 3.
Okay, so with that, I'll say he sees you coming and he
I'm hard
Sort
to
of.
miss.
uses his attune and he flings something at you. Maybe like a table or something. So you are going to take harm unless you want to resist. Except, 1 second.
No,
You
no,
had
no.
your hand up.
No, I have an idea straight away afterwards, so it's fine.
Oh, well, okay, so, right. So, not affecting this. So, do you want to roll
Prowess, yeah, because he's throwing something
prowess?
physically. Yeah,
Yeah.
5. So
Okay, so, yeah, taking another stress. Straight after.
So from behind him, because he's obviously had something thrown at him, I jump from behind him to attack from above.
Ooh, okay. I
So
like
it's
it.
jumping out from there, so he's focuses on Tommy as Darklight jumps over.
And what are you thinking? Finesse?
I'm thinking finesse,
Mm-hmm.
and if I push myself, I can do a superhuman athletic.
Okay.
So this is going to push me over as well.
Okay, so if you push yourself, I'll give you an extra die.
So I'm up to just full finesse, yeah?
Yep.
Cool. Gonna like that. I got 1-6.
Okay, so you launch. So Tommy gets hit by this table, but as he kind of braces himself and it hits and the table splits, you run and Tommy, you barely notice it. But Darklight runs, jumps, and he just places a foot on your shoulder. But it is so light and so quick that you barely notice it. The only thing you notice is that soaring above you, you see this creature with needles coming out of his extremity and this big sort of howling grin come down and just jab a needle into Lanathar, who does not look very, very healthy at the minute. So it's now going to be up to Travis and Blizzard.
Oh, plan.
I'm gonna use my.
shout down with the puce patch nose.
I'm gonna use my turn to try and out attune him. Essentially, see if I can just disrupt his power.
I like it. I like it. Roll a tune.
5.
Okay, so 5. I will say that you haven't disrupted his power, but it is a struggle. So as long as you keep this up, he's not going to be able to do anything, but that's going to lock you up as well. So you guys are currently at a loggerheads, as it were. All right, Deckard.
Okay, I'm gonna offer this guy an out. So during all of the skirmish and stuff, I'll see if I can call everybody for just the briefest break, and I'm gonna hold out my hand to him, and I'm gonna be like, "You can save your own life, but you have to agree that you and all the serpents, they work for the Rebel Claws now. What do you think?" And I'm gonna activate Ghost Contract. And as my eyes smoke and I speak in a dozen voices, I'm gonna be, "Do we have a deal?"
Sway, command, something
Okay.
along those lines.
Consort?
Consort.
All right, let's try Consort.
All right.
Let's see if I can get us.
I will
boost.
yeah, I will say that this is a tough one. So
Yeah, I got a 4.
you got a 4. What I will say happens is that he agrees, and he shakes your hand, and the ghost contract activates. But the moment you let that go, he tries to renege.
Okay. So I don't get the deal, but I get the curse off. Okay. If he reneges, let me read through the deal here. You'll suffer an unresistible level 3 harm cursed. I don't know what that means, but
So you go and you make this deal, and you kind of step away, and you, knowing what you know about the ghost contract, you are confident, and so you turn your back. You're confident. I mean, he's accepted a ghost contract. He has to keep it.
Yeah, he's
so
on board.
you turn your back, almost in triumph, and as you do that, he tries to draw a knife and stab you. As he does, the curse kind of goes off, and you just see his arm sort of burst out into flames, which then engulfs him as he begins to scream. And as he does that, he lets go of his attunement. And Blizzard, who was at loggerheads with him, just manages to overpower him, as well as Darklight, who was right next to him. And Tommy, seeing this, you all basically descend on him simultaneously as Deckard walks away. And that is how Lanathar of the Crimson Serpent dies.
Some motherfucker's always trying to ski uphill.
We're going to move on from this scene, as you are now one of the most powerful crews in Amora Vale. So much so that Cupid approaches you. He's not fussed, he's not worried, he basically just says, well, it does look like we're going to be working together a bit more often. And what is Darklight doing? Are you sticking around with the gang?
So Darklight, seeing that he seems to work well with them, misses Nightshade Pines, but at the same time wants to see where this goes.
So-
Feeling a bit of a sore thumb at the moment, sticking out a little bit, but we'll see how it goes.
So, time will pass. You will start to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Your own personal sort of quests will increase. Your crew will get stronger. And as the months go by, you do more jobs and you get more riches, and your crew gains strength. And it is about a month and a half later. Deckard, you are alone at one point on the Polar Express. Everyone is out satisfying their vices and, taking some well-deserved time off after a string of successful operations. And you hear a very sort of laboured banging on the door.
I'm going to begrudgingly put down one of my micro brews that I just remembered was our established thing from the last game. Swap it for my gun, go answer the door.
So you open the door, and as you do, the door, it kind of pushes against you, not forcefully, but almost as if there's a weight against it. And you kind of let it open, and into your arms, you feel and you catch Yaloa. And she is there, and she's holding her side. And you can just see the dark crimson red sort of beginning to sort of spread as she's holding her side. Her face looks like she's been through a war. And she looks up at you and she says, He's dead. Santa Claus is dead. The Grinch has stolen Christmas. And that's where we're going to leave it.
I'm going to look down just like I did with Cupid earlier and be like, see, you're taking the wrong angle.